A very pleasant good afternoon. Thank you. Yes. To the brothers and sisters in this room. Just to correct the record a bit, I was the second female speaker in the House, not the first. Thank you. I noted that I'm down to give the feature address, but I want to leave that to your distinguished comrade leader, the Honorable Philip J. Pierre. So today, what I'll do is to give a heart-to-heart talk with you as one Labour person to another, from one Labour Party to another. So we'll get a little heart-to-heart here today. Brothers and sisters of the St. Lucia Labour Party, brothers and sisters of Labour, Sakafet, frankly, that's the extent of my patois. I want to adopt the protocol that was so ably laid before, but I have to acknowledge the presence of Sir Hunt, Liburd Hunt, and of course, my good friend, Dr. Kenny Anthony. Kenny and I go way back. As a matter of fact, we lived in the same apartment buildings in Barbados. And I remember him from those days. And when I decided to run for office, he was always there to encourage me and to give me good advice. Thank you, Kenny. In St.Kitts, we say comrades. But I was forewarned not to say comrades here, so I'm going to stick to brothers and sisters. I want to thank you for your invitation to be your guest at this, your party's celebration of your 69th anniversary. Put your hands together for that. 69 years is a long time. We are a little longer than that, but 69 years is a long time for any organization to be still going on. I am honored, yet humbled to be here today. I feel not only welcome, but right at home among my Labour people. I bring you greetings and best wishes for a successful conference and a successful campaign from our leader, the Right Honorable Dr. Denzil Douglas, the executive and entire membership of the St.Kitts Nevis Labour Party. Our two parties are on a march to victory, and nothing must stop us now. Nothing. What a crowd you have here today. What energy. I'm sort of recovering from the flu, and I'm infected by your energy already. The red wave is taking over St. Lucia. And you must ensure that the red wave sweeps through the entire St. Lucia. So whenever the elections are called, you'll be ready. The good book says, they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. You have been waiting now for over 3 years. And when I look at you today, all decked in red, looking so beautiful, I'm looking to see how your strength has been renewed. Renewed, reinvigorated, and re-energized for the battle ahead. For it will be a battle. Make bones about it. Our two parties were born out of the trade union movement, fighting for workers' rights and better working conditions. Today, some 69 years later, in the case of the St. Lucia Labour Party, and 87 years later, as in our case, the struggle for workers' rights continues. We are still struggling for workers' rights. And believe me, brothers and sisters, the struggle is real. Our two parties have had a historical and lasting friendship. A few years ago, our leader had stopped off right here in St. Lucia, right in the heart of a campaign, to give his unqualified support to the St. Lucia Labour Party. And I think it was under Sir Hon at the time. We in the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party have had the honor of hosting Dr. Kenny Anthony as our guest speaker for one of our conferences. So you see, Labour is one big, happy family. Waters don't divide us. No borders when it comes to the Labour Party. Today, our parties, the two of our parties are in opposition. But we are both on a march to victory whenever the next elections are called. Do you believe that? We are on a march to victory. Victory ahead. Victory ahead. Do you see the victory? Do you smell it? Do you taste it? Do you feel it? Me too. So keep your eye on the prize. Be vigilant. Mobilize your women's organization. Mobilize your youth organization. Constantly scrutinize your lists in every constituency to ensure that elections are free and fair. After all, elections are still about numbers, not the one in the Bible. Elections are still about numbers. So be the guardian of your democracy. And it calls for one man, one vote. And you must accept nothing less. Brothers and sisters, we are on the march to victory. And I want to assure you that the battle will be fierce and long. And you, the soldiers of labor, must never go weary in well-doing. I urge the leadership of the party to take care of the rank and file of the party. Look after the soldiers. Look after the soldiers. Listen to their concerns. Listen to the concerns of everyone. And my own experience tells me that the people who very often have the greater ideas are those who learn from life. They are students of life, more so than those of us who are schooled and educated. So listen to everybody. You, the soldiers, you must go into every nook and cranny, every street and alley, every hill and valley, every village and every community. Touch the flesh. Speak to everybody regardless of their politics. Reach out and carry the message of labor, that labor is good all the time. And all the time, carry that message. Those who left us in the last elections, some of them are coming back. Open your arms wide and embrace them. Embrace them. Because elections are still about numbers. I understand that this Labour Party, this current Labour Party, is planning to bring modern and affordable health care to the people of St. Lucia. Send that message out to the length and breadth of the land, because health is important to every single one of us. Healthcare is important. I understand that it's time for a revolution in education so that we can meet the needs of our creative and technologically savvy young people that we have among us. Only Labour can do that. Only Labour can deliver that. And in Labour, we leave no one behind. So take the message to the elderly, to the indigent, to persons living with disabilities, that Labour cares. And Labour will ensure that you live a decent and dignified life. Tell them that help is drawing nigh, that hope is just around the corner. So hold on to Labour, because Labour is good, and all the time, Labour is good. Brothers and sisters, I'm the only woman on my party's ticket for the upcoming elections. But I join the women in my party and women everywhere who are fighting to have more women running for political office. We bring a different perspective to the table. And in almost all of our countries, women make up more than 50% of the population. So, as you in St. Lucia are in the process of confirming candidates for the next election, I am making a timely appeal for a greater focus on ensuring that women are on the ticket. I make the same appeal for the young people of this country. Their involvement at the top level must start now. They are no longer the leaders of tomorrow, but the leaders of today. Just about a week ago, a young lady, 28 years of age, announced that she was running as a candidate for the next Anguilla elections. And she's coming up against the Premier of Anguilla. Premier of Anguilla. Young people represent the majority of our population. And it's amazing how their next-gen ideas and methods bring a freshness, a boldness, a buzz, a passion, and an energy to our parties. And Labour parties must lead the way in the involvement of our women and our young people in top leadership. At this point, I would like to sound a warning to the brothers and sisters of Labour. Do not allow others to divide you. Do not allow others to divide you. This is an old trick that they always try. And so they will come to you and tell you all sorts of things. That the leader said this about you or your family. That somebody else who in the leadership don't want you to be this or that. Whatever it is. But they will come with the old trick. And I'm saying to you, do not fall for it. Do not allow them to buy your vote either. Neither you nor your vote is for sale. And I want to say to you that after the elections are over, if you allow them to buy your vote, I could tell you, after the elections are over, you would not hear from them. They would have no time for you. So you stick with those who have a genuine interest in you through thick and thin, and money cannot buy that. So don't allow them to buy out your vote. Every family has its little issues. Every family. But the family that stays together, prays together. Or prays together, stays together. So call out your prayer warriors. Call out the prayer warriors so that we can stay together and rally around your leader as you march to victory in the next elections. Brothers and sisters of Labour, we are marching to victory. But to do so, the party must stay together, united behind your charismatic, visionary, and compassionate leader, the Honorable Philip J. Pear. History tells us that on at least 2 occasions, when you went from government to opposition, it was as a result of cracks in the leadership of your party. We have a similar history in St.Kitts and Nevis, as recently as the last elections in 2015. So now, we in the St.Kitts Nevis Labour Party are sticking together and staying firmly and unequivocally behind our leader, Dr. Denzil Douglas. You must do the same here. Brothers and sisters, the St. Lucia Labour Party has a rich history and is steeped in a working class tradition. You are standing on the shoulders of your leaders, from your founding father, George Charles, to leaders of more recent times like Sir Hunt and Dr. Kenny Anthony, all of whom have paved the way for where you are today. But the march to victory requires you, the leaders and members of the St. Lucia Labour Party, in this moment in time, to create your own history. And for this coming election, you have a golden opportunity to do just that. As a matter of fact, you can start creating that history today. And I challenge you to do that. Today, write the page, the first page of the first chapter of the new history that the St. Lucia Labour Party, under the leadership of Philip J. Pear, will create. Today, you begin to make that new history. So, as I leave you, I want you to march forward to victory as one united force with one purpose, fully and unequivocally behind one leader, your outstanding champion, your accomplished and distinguished leader, the Honorable Philip J. Pear. And if you leave this conference today with nothing else, remember, march forward as one united force with one purpose behind one leader, and victory will be yours. So I admonish you to go make your history. Thank you. Congratulations on a successful conference 2019. Thank you.